Welcome to the Merch Minds podcast, where we discuss everything about the Merch by Amazon business and the print-on-demand industry. Here are your hosts, Glenn and Young.
Merch Minds podcast, episode 85. My name is Glenn. This is Young.
Hello, sir.
And we are recording a couple of days late. I had some internet issues on when we normally record on Friday, so I apologize for we actually had a guest, so I feel bad about that. But hopefully we can reschedule, get it worked out, because I don't know what was going on over here.
Yeah, we're supposed to have a guest, and Glenn messed it all up. Screwed it all up.
And then during the whole time, we got the whole PopSocket thing that came up, and I was like, you know what? I really want to talk about that, kind of break that down a little bit. Also, we can get Mr. Young's opinion on PopSockets. I think it's going to be pretty funny. Let's see what he thinks. But numbers also is a little bit different now because Father's Day just ended, which was yesterday.
Oh, man. And the reason I'm laughing is because you and I had a private conversation about this, and we'll kind of break it down here when we give our numbers. So let's go ahead and start the show with the numbers. You want to go first, or should I?
I'll go first. So today I've sold 5 shirts, which some of them, 3 of them are Father's Day still shirts. So maybe some of the leftovers on there. But last 7 days, 225 products sold, 6 returns, and estimated royalties $750.54. And I think the highest I got to at one point was maybe like 900 something. And then of course it goes up and down. And then as Father's Day got closer, the number slowly started to go down a little bit. So that's where I am right now. And it's 3:02 p.m.
3:02 p.m. And for me, last 7 days, 129 t-shirts sold. Not t-shirts, but products. Product purchases, $2,705.23. Estimated royalties, $647.73. 7 returns. So Glenn and I, we talked in private about how I think it's fair to say everyone's numbers spiked in June because of Father's Day. And sure enough, you and I, we were saying in private, we were like, man, after Father's Day, everyone's number is going to tank. I shouldn't say everyone, but most. And at least for you and I, is definitely, that's what we're seeing, right? Our numbers are definitely taking a dive, correct?
Yeah, they're definitely dying down, especially at maybe 5 days before Father's Day was probably at the best, maybe because people were still trying to do last minute stuff. And then now I think it's just slowly going to come down. So now you're kind of looking for the next trend if you don't have a backup plan or if you don't have other ones ready.
Yeah. And that's tough, right? Because I think the 4th of July market is really saturated. Right.
Yeah. I was doing a lot of research on that this weekend, and I was like,
I was too, man, and I just couldn't come up with something clever, man. I really couldn't. But I think that's the next big one. So if you guys were able to have your designs uploaded, and they started to sell, well, good for you. But man, it's tough. It's really tough. So I know there's a couple of other holidays in July. Not really holidays, but I should say national days, that are potentials as far as sales. So I have to kind of do some research on those. But yeah, man, as predicted, June was going to be good, and we're definitely starting to see the numbers tank. But we do have some news again. PopSockets. Amazon came out with the news that they're going to release PopSockets on a rolling basis, and we'll talk about that here. But we do want to talk about a few other things. Redbubble. What was up with that, dude? Did you see my freaking post?
I did see your post, and for everybody that maybe aren't in the group, I want to let them know what happened.
Yeah, so I got a message from Redbubble saying, your design is under review. And this is a design that's been posted like for the last year and a half, right? Your design is under review. In the meantime, uh, your design is temporarily suspended, basically, right? I'm
Yeah.
like, what the heck is going on? So I posted that screenshot in the Merch Minds Facebook group, and apparently there's a handful of other people that got the same message. And then after digging around and talking to some people, apparently it was related to the keywords ping pong, beer pong, King Kong. No, I'm just joking about the King Kong, but something to do with the beer pong and ping pong. That triggered something on Redbubble, and apparently everyone's designs got suspended temporarily until they did some research. Um, but like within an hour, it was reinstated. But it makes no. It was just weird.
Yeah, that's a random words to kind of trigger it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I guess it's good practice for all of us to just kind of go back and look at our keywords again to see if they've been trademarked since we uploaded them. But yeah, that's something that I'm gonna have to do at some point is go back and maybe I'll do that after the show and look up beer pong and ping pong and all that. But yeah, it was weird. It was random. I was like, what is going on, man? This design's been up there for some time now. So, um,
And they had
so
to
yeah,
apologize for everybody.
what was that?
They had to apologize to everybody.
They didn't apologize to me, those bastards. Um, let's see, some local merch news. It's not even really news, man. It's just dude. Check this out, man. So I went to the local the doggy daycare, center here
Yeah.
where I take my dog on occasion, and and I take I take my dog there pretty often, my dog, and so I got to know the owner, and I pitched the whole idea to him back about a month ago, right?
Yeah.
He was really interested. Making a long story short, dude, this freaking guy uh went with a local printer, right, instead of through me, and he took all my freaking marketing ideas that I pitched to him.
Oh man. So he
I'm like,
was interested in shirts.
yeah, yeah. So every time I go in there now, all the staff are wearing their freaking shirts. I'm like, this freaking guy, man. Man. But you know what? I mean, there was never any contract signed, right? So I can't really,
Yeah.
say anything. But still, the fact that we had talked, he had shown interest, and he said, "Oh yeah, man, we'll definitely get this set up." And then next thing I know, I go in there and everyone's wearing T-shirts, and he's like, "Oh yeah, man, hey, we decided to go with a local printer, uh, and I decided to use all your marketing ideas that you pitched." And I'm like, what are you doing, dude?"
Man, that's lame.
So, total local merch fell. Man, I don't know what happened
Backfired.
there. Backfired, man. Hey, what's going on with you though, man? I know we had talked about you maybe reaching out to your parents' customers. Did that
Yeah.
ever happen?
My dad did go and talk to them briefly about it, and then we're trying to figure out like um, I guess like a scheduled date that we can go.
Okay.
So we're trying to figure that out.
Okay. So it sounds like it's a local business there in El Paso. Yeah.
Yeah, it's local business here. So now we're just trying to figure out that date we can go and do that. So but also just want to like lay it out correctly, everything that we're talking about. Whatever questions come our way, we know exactly what's going on. So that's pretty much what our main thing is, make sure we have everything set.
Mm-hmm.
And even like some of the sample designs. So I worked on some, I think like 3 of them, but I don't know if we're gonna try to do maybe like 5 or 10 different ideas. So that's like our next thing.
Right. And
So
then, but I have another friend who He he's in the software business. He reached out to me today. He goes, "Hey, I want to get some shirts made for my company. But the thing is, like I said, it's a small startup. They have like maybe 4 or 5 employees, including himself. I told him, look, man, I'm not even gonna make a profit off of you, but yeah, I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
Now, if he decides to go through a local printer, I'm breaking some kneecaps. Dude, I was just like, yo, dude, this is not cool. But so yeah, so we'll see how that works out.
But I think someone also had a question, like, so what's stopping a client from just joining merch on their own?
Well, because they need, dude. Well, I mean, I don't know, obviously, right? Since we haven't we haven't gone through the whole application process.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I've been reading in the groups and the forums, Amazon's asking very specific questions now. They want to see samples of your work. So it sounds like they want people to have a design background. And there's a guy, dude, I don't know if you saw that post in the group today, or maybe it was late last night. There's a guy who's a designer, and he's like this art director of some company. He's been rejected 5 times, and he's like giving them his portfolio, everything, and Amazon's telling them no.
That's
So
crazy.
yeah, so if a business was to say, well, how come I can't just, well, you can try, but chances are you're not going to get in.
Yeah. And in this case, he was just going with someone local, and at least
Yeah,
the guy
but
that you went, he just
yeah, no, he went with someone local. I mean, it was cheaper, but again, the fact that he had to, because I asked him, I'm like, you had to buy in bulk, right? He goes, yeah, man, I spent another, $3,000 or $4,000 so I can. I'm like, dude, I'm like, you know what, man? Yeah, you got a good deal, but you know what? All those shirts you have in your closet now, man, they're gonna be freaking window rags in the next couple of years.
How many do you think he probably ordered? You
I
said
have
for a whole staff?
I have no idea. He has a bunch of staff, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So who knows?
Yeah, man.
But it's not just for the staff, but it's also him selling it to
Oh,
his customers. Like I said, it's the whole marketing idea that he took too, right?
yeah.
He's gonna like send out an email blast, wear our t-shirts when you come in or whatever, and you'll get, I don't know, 10% off or something, right?
Yeah.
Like he took all my marketing ideas too, man. I'm like, this
Oh,
fucking guy.
man.
So yeah, total fail there. Hey, so what are you doing? I know so here's the thing, man. Everyone that I talk to who's putting up big numbers,
Mhm,
we're talking Bo Pollard, Kristen Harris, who was supposed to be our guest for this episode.
mhm.
Everyone that I talk to, they're saying you need to scale, young. Look, I've acknowledged that. I've said that now, a few times. I do have to scale, so I'm obviously designing again. I'm leveraging Penji. I've got your brother doing designs for me now, so I get it, right?
Mhm,
So it sounds like right now, like I need to scale my account,
mhm.
apparently, right? To make some significant numbers. What are you doing as far as your account to try and scale? I know you've been using your brother as well. Are,
Yeah.
are, are you designing as well?
Yeah, so this weekend, I think I designed it's like I'm focusing more. So now I'm doing like the opposite approach to where last time I was doing the numbers game and more, I guess, cranking out more designs that were simple.
Mm-hmm.
And then now I'm doing the opposite to where like I'm spending more time on the design, but also being able to use that for multiple like ideas. So like I spent maybe how much? Maybe at least like 45 minutes on this one design that I was like, you know what? I could use it for multiple things. I like the way it looks. I'm doing that. And then I could turn it into other ones. So I had this one idea, maybe turn into about like 70 different I guess variations. I'm almost done. I think I need maybe like oh man. I still need quite a bit of them, but then I can upload all those up there. Now the ones I did 2 weekends ago, those ended up being like 200 and something designs. I uploaded those. I've only sold maybe like 2 or 3 of them, but they
Mm-hmm.
are priced higher and they have already, some of them are already sold. So that's a good sign. and they've only been live for a week. So I think that's going to help. So now I'm just going back to where like I'm doing the designs, spending more time on the designs, and then I'm going to go for more quality and higher price to try to get more of those numbers up. That's kind of like my game plan going into it, because I'm also trying to, of course, scale up the eBay side. I have I just went over like 40 grand in available inventory. And then I'm trying to, of course, build up YouTube. So I'm trying to do all three of them and try to build up three different platforms.
Yeah, man. But like everyone that I've talked to, they're like, dude, you need to scale. And like I said, I've acknowledged that, and I'm trying to take action.
Well,
But
here's the thing. Here's the thing that I would admit to you, though, is that you probably should have surpassed me a long time ago.
Well,
you know why?
I have a few times, right?
Yeah, a few times. But I'm talking about like really just like surpassing it, because I first of all, I was suspended for a month. And then second, I hadn't uploaded quite a bit of time because I went out of town for all that hustled stuff.
Right.
And I'm still in the $2,000 to $3,000 range. And I haven't really been uploading as many. I haven't even uploaded per day, none of that. At least the last 2 weeks before that other one, I didn't upload anything for a while. I mean, you've been Penji, all these other things.
Yeah. But the thing is, I've only started using Penji like about 2 months ago, and I just hired your brother.
Yeah.
Right. So now I'm really cranking out some designs, and I talked about hiring students from the local university, which I'm gonna do, but I don't want to hire them yet, and I tell you why, because I haven't seen any really results yet with the newer designs.
Yeah.
So there's no point of me hiring more designers when the new designs aren't selling, right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to wait until I get some more sales on my newer designs. And once that starts happening, then I'm going to reach out to my local university and hire some students. But this is the thing, dude, and you and I talked about this too, man. It's like, I talk to these guys, and a lot of them have like 3 or 4 designers, right? Yeah, man, I got 3 or 4 designers. They're cranking out 10 designs for me every day. Dude, you and I talked about this. Dude, I can't even come up with a concept of freaking 40 designs per day.
That was the main thing we kind of talked about the other day, which is trying to figure out so many, I guess, ideas, unless it comes down to the point to where you're not really that picky on the idea, but technically that's that and the design are really the main parts that are going to make your shirt sell, I would think.
Right, exactly. But I was just like, how are they coming up with these concepts and these ideas? Because my brain would be fried by the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Like if every day I was just think about it, right? If I have 4 designers and I'm giving them 10 design concepts every day, that's 40. There's no way I can come up with 40 concepts a day. It's bad enough I'm giving concepts to Penji and your brother.
Yeah.
And myself, right? So that's 3.
What I was thinking too is like when I was this weekend and last weekend, when I was sitting here on Merchant Former, Amazon, Pinterest, I was going through a lot of the ideas, and I was like, man, like some of these ideas are just so flooded. So when I really have to take my time, not only in the design part, but with the research part, I was really going through like, all right, this is a good niche. What about these type of like maybe slogans or taglines? Are they working? How can I change it? How can I make it better? What can I do design wise? And it took a lot of time. And then that's where I created the ones I did 2 weekends ago, and some have sold. Cool. But it really took, like really time and effort to really think about the idea part, which I think it's just extremely important for the idea concept to really work out and not just been thrown in with everybody else.
Right. Absolutely. So I don't know how these guys do it, but I'm trying to play catch up here as far as trying to scale. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep everyone posted. Dude, I'm so damn desperate. I've even started doing the damn pricing strategy that some of these guys are doing, and you and I talked about this as well in private. And for the listeners, if you guys don't know, people like RJ, and there's other people out there, they're putting up some big numbers. Okay, I'm not going to mention their names because I don't know if they want their names mentioned. They told me, they're like, dude, what they're doing is, um, um, for the shirts, they're pricing them as low as they can, right? So
Hmm.
they get like zero royalty or a penny royalty, and then as soon as they get that sell, they'll boost it up to whatever they think is worth.
Yeah.
So I started doing that this past week. I sold one damn shirt doing it that way.
Yeah.
So
But
I don't
it's
know.
only a week in, so we don't know.
Mhm.
It's
What was
only a
that?
week in, like a week in trying this, so we don't know until.
Yeah, that's true.
But
I
at the
don't
same
know,
time, we also the
but
past listeners remember Yang. He said he would never do something like this. He was always pricing high. He loves design, and designs are worth a certain amount of money. So Yang's making some changes. Let's see what
I,
happens.
I'm making changes because I'm not seeing this. And I understand Amazon said, look, there's no throttling, right? It's been confirmed. That's what they said. There's no throttling. But they did say that the market is saturated, right? There's a lot more people on merch, so our designs are getting hidden. So a lot of
Yeah.
things have changed from 2 years ago when we first started, right? I mean,
Oh,
like
definitely.
2 years ago, we were getting sales. Dude, I'll be in the toilet for 20 minutes, dropping the deuce, and I get like 20 sales on like 20 of my new designs. That's no longer the case, right?
Yeah, I mean it's totally different.
So
I
yeah,
mean,
so of course I'm definitely playing around with strategy and whatnot, uh, but yeah, I mean that hasn't really worked either, right? But
yeah.
like you said,
Well, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
it's been a weekend. We'll give it a few weeks, see how that plays out. I'll keep you guys posted. One last thing before we get into VidCon. This is something that I didn't really talk about to the public. Glenn knows, but tomorrow I am actually out of town for a week. I'm headed down to Southern California, Anaheim to be exact. Where am I going, Glenn?
VidCon.
VidCon. This is something you should be going to, not me. But what I found out was Merch by Amazon is going to be there. Uh, so I'm headed down there. I've registered, um, bought my plane ticket, booked my hotel, leaving tomorrow afternoon. Um, and yeah, you guys know me, man. If you guys listen to the podcast, I'm not a big YouTube fan. I don't watch a lot of YouTube videos. But I'm going primarily because there's a talk that's going to be given by Merch by Amazon. That's going to be on Wednesday afternoon, and then Wednesday evening they're hosting a party, dude. Merch by Amazon. So I'm going to go try and get all the all the executives at Merch drunk and maybe try and get some secrets out of them.
We can only hope, and then just have a secret, nice little secret show. Talk about all
Yeah,
the stuff you
yeah.
didn't know
That
about merch.
That's my strategy. Chances are that's not going to happen, right? That's just me fantasizing. But no, it'll be fun, right? Here's the thing. Like I get an allowance from my day job every year, right? They're saying, hey, here's a set amount of money. You have to use it by September, and if you don't use it by September, you lose it. Like it doesn't roll over right to the next year. So I
Yeah.
have to use that money. So I decided to hit up a conference. I'm like, what conference can I go to, right? And this was, like I said, I found out that merch was going to be there, so I figured, you know what, this would be a good one for me to go to, even though I'm not really into it. Uh, maybe I can get some more information out of them. Um, so, so that'll be tomorrow. And in fact, you and I need to talk behind the scenes about how we're gonna uh, do this week's podcast because of that.
Yeah, I'll figure
Um,
that out.
yeah, because like Glenn said earlier in the show, we normally record on Fridays. But let's get into it, man. You want to talk pop sockets?
PopSockets are here, so yeah, we got to talk about these.
Right.
Um,
So we got the announcement last week that they're finally here and that they're going to be releasing them to the general public on a rolling basis. Today is Monday. What's the date today? It is the 18th, and it sounds like a lot of people officially got pop sockets today.
mhm.
I checked my account. I do have pop sockets. How about you?
Yes, sir.
Have you uploaded any since the announcement?
No, I just checked right now. I just checked. I saw it was there, and then I just started kind of like looking at the specs and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because people had emailed me already, like, "Hey, how much to design PopSockets? What's your rates and things?" And I was like, "Man, I haven't even
You're like,
seen, I haven't
dude,
even seen the
I don't
layout
need,
or like
right? That's funny.
any of that stuff yet." But it sounds like so. If you go and try to upload 485 pixels by 485 pixels, and it looked like in the very beginning when people were trying to figure it out a little bit, it looks like they were kind of confused on the border part, but I really don't see anything too confusing about it. I mean, it's going to get trimmed. There's a trimmed area, and it tells you pink transparent border indicates the artwork trim area and will not print on the final product. So you do have to, I mean, pretty much have your design bleed off if it's one of those type of designs because it's going to cut off that way.
Wait, say that part again, Glenn, because I haven't read everything like you have about the trim and all that.
Oh, okay. So pink transparent border indicates artwork trim area and will
Okay,
not print on the final product. Keep
got
all
you.
critical design elements and text inside the safe zone indicated by the red dashed line. So anything in there
Exactly.
is going to come out. Everything else that you can
Hmm.
see where it gets trimmed. So
Got you. Got you. So I'm assuming all pop sockets are white by default.
yeah, I think they're just white by default.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Um, and you know, I've seen some posts in not just our group but other people's group. People are just like, I'm just not excited about pop sockets. I don't think I'm going to do pop sockets. And my question to you is why? I mean, look, this is what Amazon said. Okay, when we met them in Las Vegas, they release products. Okay, based on their data. Okay, because you know how Chris Green always says, Amazon is a data company, and it is
Hmm.
true. They are a data company, and based on their data, okay, pop sockets are going to sell. Some people are claiming it's just a fad and that it'll be over within a year. Um, I can tell you, pop sockets been out for a couple of years now, if not more. I
Yeah.
personally never used them, but it seems like they're getting more and more popular, not just with the kids, but with the adults. Um, so so if you're one of those people that are saying, "Oh, well, I'll never upload anything onto PopSockets," that's fine. Look, I think if that's your mindset, you're definitely missing out. It gives people like Glenn and I more opportunity to be successful with PopSockets. But I mean, here's the thing. Look, whatever product Amazon releases, whether it's a PopSocket or a Tank Ops, whatever, just upload your designs onto them.
Yeah, your
Right?
designs are
I mean,
already
I mean, I
there
mean,
anyway.
it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to, what the hell? Just do it.
And they do have pretty cool accessories. If you do use one, I don't use one either, but they have pretty cool, like car mounts and different things you can also attach it to if you do use them. So,
See, I didn't
um,
know all that.
yeah, so there's pretty good things for them. I'm trying to see when. Oh, okay. So apparently, yeah, the designer pop sockets, the guy that did create it. Um, let me see. He launched a Kickstarter campaign fund for the business in 2012. So if you want to know a little bit more about it and how long it's kind
Interesting.
of gained and grown and everything. Um, First year revenue hit 240,000. PopSockets grew 800,000 every year. This year, PopSocket is on track for manufacturing 70 million products.
Wow. Now, if those numbers aren't impressive, I don't know what else to tell you. But obviously, Amazon decided to release PopSockets because their data said these are going to sell. And if you guys don't want to, again, participate in the opportunity, well, I'm not going to twist your arm. Um, but I will say this, again, I talked to Eric Rosner almost every day. In
Yeah.
fact, it's kind of getting annoying because I tell you why, man. I love Eric, right? Dude, the guy keeps freaking messaging me talking about, yo, man, I know you got some secret nuggets. Yo, man, I know you got some secret sauce. I'm like, what secret sauce, man? I'm like, dude, my numbers are tanking. He goes, oh, I think you're lying. I think you're lying. He thinks that I know something. Like I'm working with Amazon or something. I'm like, dude, I don't know anything. But anyway, Eric said he's gonna go all in with the pop sockets because he was telling me his numbers with t-shirts just are just so bad. He said he's 100% pop sockets right now.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Giving that a shot. That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So Eric, keep us posted. And we got to get the guy back on the show, man. The guy's hilarious.
Oh yeah. And they
Um,
have if you ever, so here's just also a heads up too. So if you're ever just on Google, you just type in pop sockets, Amazon has their own pop socket page just for them. So there's like bestsellers, things like that. So I mean, if you hit one of these, I mean, who knows what could happen with your design on this front page for bestsellers and first page and things like that. Most of them right now that it looks like are kind of like not really something I think we could design. Some of them look a little kind of like diamond jewel type glowing type of effect. But there's
what?
a lot of just like that you could do is like a henna type design. There's like a
I got
moon
you.
one on here. There's different things with like hearts. Surfing
Yeah.
one was one of the better ones.
So yeah, and it's a good thing that you're bringing this up. So because of the real estate of the pop socket, I mean, I'm guessing they're the size of a I don't know. It's probably a size of a uh, what I don't know, like a gas cap or something. Maybe a little smaller,
Yeah,
right?
it's like yeah, it's a little bit smaller than that. Probably like,
It's relatively small, right?
yeah.
I mean, it's 485 pixels by 485. So you guys can kind of visualize how small it's going to be. Um, so Glenn brings up a good point. A lot of your T-shirt designs isn't going to just automatically transfer over to the pop sockets, right?
Yeah.
Like, so you guys have to visualize, well, here's a T-shirt, but it has all these crazy stuff on it. That's not going to fit onto a pop socket, right? So
Yeah.
you guys have to adjust accordingly, and maybe just take a certain element out of that design and add it to the pop socket. Does that make sense, man?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Now
But
here's
and
oh,
look, guys, but look, we're no experts, okay? We're just kind of, this is just me and Glenn, it's us talking amongst each other, and then we're trying to share what we think is best practice. That's all.
yeah. And let's go into I wanted to talk to you about pricing and the
Dude,
price
I don't know. I
structure,
don't even
price
know what a pop
breakdown.
socket goes for.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about. So if you're on that main page though, there's a lot of them that look pretty complex and probably like kind of like a 3D effect that we can't really design. But for the most part, those are $14.99. Now, for some of the basic ones that you can design, at least that I'm seeing here, most of them $8.99, $9.99. They're a little cheap. Now, this is my only concern is those prices compared to the Merch by Amazon price that you're going to get back, and as far as what their grid and table looks like if you're looking to price at a certain point. So now, right now, I told you front page $9.99, $8.99, some are $14.99. Now, PopSocket grid examples, Merch by Amazon, list price, at least the lowest one they show, $13.99. Your royalty will be $1.56. They go all the
Okay.
way up. They sell $14.49. You'll make $1.90. $14.99. You'll get $2.25. $15.49. You get $2.59, and so on. So the highest one they show, just on the example, is $16.49. But so my only concern is just that I guess for the ones that are $8.99, $9.99.
Mm-hmm.
You're not really going to compete with the lowest and the cheapest. So I think if you're going to win in a certain way, it has to be through design and niche or idea,
Right.
because you have to price higher to make, I guess, something somewhat worth your while. At $13.99, you're going to get $1.56.
Well, and also it sounds like if there's people on Amazon selling pop sockets for $8.99, $9.99, it sounds like they're third party sellers and they're not associated with merch. if merch doesn't go that low in the first place.
Well, I think these are actually just straight from PopSocket brand. And here's the interesting part that you said third-party sellers. PopSockets, they're extremely careful with their name. So that's why this branding with Amazon is really, really important, because there are no other third-party sellers. They'll get taken down. I've already known so many people through private label that have already gotten taken down because PopSockets only want to remain a certain name and brand through Amazon and with their own names. I've even had, with the family business, we do a lot of promotional items.
That's right.
And we've had a lot of companies that have just gotten hit with lawsuits, period. Because
over PopSockets?
Over PopSockets, because they can't use the look and also the name. So like we had a lot of different companies that had them exact same thing. It just doesn't say popsocket.com on it, like the ones you would order on Amazon now because of that partnership. And yeah, like some of these companies, they were just like, yeah, we were hit with a lawsuit. We can't do it. Because we had a local client that wanted some, and we couldn't. My dad was calling so many of them, and yeah, a couple of them had already went down that they're like, we can't even do anything like that anymore. And they completely messed up on that part. And I know a lot of people too that with the private label stuff, it didn't happen. They thought they could use it, and then PopSockets took them down.
Wow. See, that's interesting, because I was talking to some people and I was like, man, I wish there's a way I can drop ship PopSockets on Etsy, right? Because I think PopSockets on Etsy will be a good marketplace, right? Because I mean, you can take a picture of like your your kids, right? I mean, you can literally pull out your phone, take a picture of your kids, and then have PopSockets on have the photo on the PopSockets. And I was thinking, man, is there a way I can maybe drop ship on Etsy? And I know guys, I know drop shipping and all that isn't allowed, but I was just kind of thinking to myself, I wish there was a way that I can make that happen, because I can really see this taking off on Etsy. But that makes sense, dude. I mean, I can't even do that, because if I'm selling PopSockets on Etsy, I mean, it sounds like, at some point PopSockets is, they're going to come pull all those on Etsy too.
Yeah, I'm actually on Etsy right now to see how many there are. I mean, it looks like there's 2,400. Some are officially licensed on here, with actual PopSocket name and all of that, like on here. And then there's some that they're risking it. And then whenever it happens, it happens. But when you really think about it, 2,400 results, there should be like, I don't know, 10,000 plus results, I would think, because the PopSocket in general, if people can drop ship or customize or private label, there would be way more than that. But at 2,400 still seems, somewhat quite a bit. But a lot of these I see are really officially licensed, except for some of these other ones that.
How do you know they're officially licensed? Because are they claiming they're officially licensed?
On the photo, they're actually in. If you buy like a PopSocket, they're in this like black little, I guess, cardboard packaging, and then actually says PopSockets on their actual name on the actual package. So some of these actually have it on there.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that they're officially licensed.
No, it's actual PopSockets logo. PopSocket has a real logo. And
man, have you seen AliExpress?
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, that's totally. I mean, they could also be risking it here too, but at least here there's somewhat not like some of these other crappy ones that I've seen here. They're just like posting like just some pretty bad artwork and put your decal on it or something like that. These actually have the PopSocket package that I've seen in stores, but
I don't even think I've ever seen them in stores. Like, I wouldn't even know where to buy them.
Yeah, they have them in stores, but they also have them like kind of not necessarily locked up, but they have them in a certain part where because pretty sure a lot of people just want to steal them. So like,
but yeah, I mean, but anyway, but my thinking was, dude, this would be perfect for the Etsy marketplace. And I was thinking, man, if there was a way I can drop ship from Amazon, that'd be perfect. But guys, again, like I was saying, drop shipping is actually discouraged They don't want you, Amazon, they don't want you to do stuff like that. But I was just kind of thinking out loud to myself, man, if there was a way, I think Etsy would be a good marketplace for that. Um, but yeah, man, I mean, so it sounds like uh, a bunch of us do have PopSockets now. Are you gonna start uploading this weekend?
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely start uploading. But like kind of like what I said earlier, I think the idea has to be key here because of the price point and what you're gonna price it at. If you type in, here's the interesting part: Amazon right now, you just put in PopSockets, 769 results.
Wait, this is Amazon?
Yeah,
That's not much.
no, it's not.
769. Yeah, you know, and I bet you 600 of those are Ken Real. Actually, we should definitely get Ken back on the show too, and get his opinion and all that about PopSockets.
Yeah, so they have like some of the other 14.99 ones, like PopSocket, Pokeball, Pokemon, licensed, of course, by PopSockets. That's the official brand. That's another thing too that other people had talked about. I don't know. I don't recommend it, but I don't know if it's true. If you use PopSockets somewhere in your brand name, I
They
wouldn't
this
do it.
Yeah, they I do remember reading that specifically. They said you cannot have PopSocket in your brand name. You can have it in your title, but even in your title, like they want it spelled a certain way. Like the P has to be capitalized. I think
Mhm.
the S has to be capitalized, and there can't be any spaces in between the two words. They're really specific about how they want you to write it. Um, so our best suggestion to you guys listening would be to just go read the TOS on PopSockets, and I mean all the information is there. I downloaded their template. Have you done that yet?
No, I didn't.
From Amazon. I'm actually taking looking at it as we speak. It's pretty straightforward, guys. It's now let me ask you. So does our no? You know what? Never mind. I answered my own question because I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you, does our image have to be a circle? But then you talked about the trim and all that, and it doesn't have to be. So you guys can have a square image just as long as it fits within those uh, uh, the
Specs.
the specs and the line.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so I think that'll be okay. Um, Again, we're just talking as we speak and just kind of sharing what we know and what we think with you guys. We are by no means any expert. We should just get Ken on at some point. And I'm sure he's going to be busy in the next few weeks because everyone's going to want to talk to Ken now that PopSockets are out.
And I think, I don't know. I mean, I think it's just as soon as they're out now, I'm just gonna start uploading probably today, like because there's not a lot of results. And my only concern is, I guess, the trademark part, like you said, how you're gonna use the word. You got to be careful with that stuff and trying to
Right.
make sure that you're not
And you know
trying to
what?
go over some type of
And that
policy.
makes sense, dude. That makes sense because when we met with the people from Amazon, they were saying just make sure you guys described the design because they knew the pop sockets were going to come out within a couple of weeks, and they didn't want to tell us. But it totally makes sense now, right? Because you can't mention. Um, I mean, they basically want you to describe the design. You can't. Again, you can't have the word pop sockets in the brand name. I don't know. Can you have it? Can you have it in the bullet points?
I don't know. That's one of the things I'm not
I
too
would
sure
look.
about.
I would
What about your actual title though? I mean, it is a pop socket, but would you use it in the title? I mean,
no. Isn't that what the toss said? You can have it in the title, but like I said, you guys have to spell it out the right way.
mm,
I don't know about the bullet points, okay, but they're
yeah.
starting to make sense. So I would just say this: look, just describe the design, okay? Don't talk about pop. Just look. Let's all play it safe, okay? It's not me. It's all of us, right? Because I would hate for you guys to lose your accounts. So let's just play it safe. just this, you can have PopSockets in your title, but again, spell it the way they tell you to. And in the bullet points in the description, I would just avoid saying PopSocket, and I would just describe the design.
Okay. Yeah. No, it makes total sense.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense though, because dude, they were telling us this 2, 3 weeks ago in Vegas. Uh, uh, describe the design. Don't mention, the product, and it totally makes sense because they knew that PopSockets were right around the corner.
Yeah.
That makes total sense.
And I wonder even, so I'm looking at, I'm not gonna say the name. I know who this seller is. And in the merch, yes, part. But I'm looking at their, I guess, title, and but all PopSockets actually have this as far as like they're kind of describing not only somewhat of the design, but just PopSockets in general, like a stand for smartphones or tablets and things like that. So that's in the actual title. So I wonder what that's about.
Dude, I just wouldn't risk it. You guys know me and my damn. I'm always paranoid about getting my account suspended.
I'm gonna submit one today, and that's it, and just see what gets accepted, and then if that's working, then cool, I'll go all in. But
I would just say, yeah, okay. But yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna be like, look, I'll have it in the title, but the keywords, the bullet points in the description, I'm just gonna just describe whatever's on. Just talk about the design. Because again, you guys know me and my damn paranoia, man. I get all crazy about stuff like that. But no, I'm excited. This is perfect timing considering we had just talked about our numbers tanking. This hopefully might bring in a little more income for some of us. I'm hoping it does because, man, I'm really, really trying to, hit that 5K mark and eventually do 10K at some point. But this is, I'm really looking forward to this opportunity, man. I'm excited. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm ready to. I'm gonna like I said, I'm gonna try it today. Get one if it goes through, but if it doesn't go through, I'm gonna be like, oh man, what do I need to change?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna see what happens. But I definitely want to get on this now. But like you said, I know a lot of people too that told me they're not gonna try it. So that's fine. Like don't try it.
It doesn't make sense though. Why would you guys say that? I mean, if it's there, I mean, as long as you have, the slots available to upload. I mean, why not just try it? I mean, I don't get the whole mindset of I'm just not even going to do it. I honestly don't understand that. It's whatever. But yeah, no, it's I would say everyone, if you have PopSockets by now, definitely upload your artwork on there. And what's your pricing strategy going to be like? I think the $14.99, that sounds like the sweet spot.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I think $14.99 sounds good. You're making at least $225. I think that's also a good royalty coming back. And $14.99, at least some of the ones that I've seen on here, also looks good. But then again, once we start seeing more and more of them, what's going to happen? We don't know. Just like the t-shirts, we don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you gonna try it today?
I'm super excited. You know what? I got a bunch of errands to run, but I'm definitely gonna upload tonight. I got to pack for tomorrow and stuff like that. I got to do some laundry. I need clean underwear for my trip, man. All right.
All right. A little too much info, but we'll let it slide.
But yeah, so I'm gonna definitely upload a few tonight. Definitely will be uploading them in Anaheim tomorrow, the rest of the week. And then check this, dude. So check this out. I didn't mention this. The VidCon goes until Saturday, but I'm flying back Thursday afternoon, late Thursday afternoon, because I was telling you, dude, I have another conference to attend on Friday that I had completely forgotten about, and that's here in the Bay Area. So yeah, so I'm flying out tomorrow. I'm coming back late Thursday afternoon, and then Friday I got to drive up to Oakland for another conference. And that's the one that I'm looking forward to, because that's more about being an entrepreneur. I mean, like, with the VidCon, like everything that I've read, because I don't know what to expect, right? I've
Yeah.
never been, like, everything that I've read online. Apparently VidCon, it attracts all the teens and stuff, trying to meet their favorite YouTube celebrity and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And that's not what I'm into, man. Um, oh, I want to go meet my my favorite YouTube celebrity. Nah, man. I think they're doing like a pre-party tomorrow. Dude, dude, I'm gonna have dinner with Manny tomorrow.
Oh, okay, cool. That sounds
Yeah,
cool.
I'm not trying to do all that
Yeah.
pre-party with the kids and all that. Um, so, but yeah, man, guys, if you have pop sockets and you have the room to upload to PopSockets, why not just go ahead and do it? You never know. I mean that one design for the t-shirts that never really took off. You might take off for the PopSockets, right?
Yeah. Yes,
So
sir. And I would only
absolutely.
recommend go to the frequently asked questions. There are a PopSockets page, just for that. So go look at that, and then you can just make sure you're doing everything safe. Like I said, I'm going to try it today, try to be safe, and then we'll go from there. And I think as time goes on, we'll probably do a better show talking about maybe design strategies, pricing things.
Yeah, because
Once we
this is
really
all
get to
this is
know,
all
it's
new
all
to me.
brand new. So
This is all new to me. Um, again, I'm going to be exploring with this sometime tonight. And maybe in the next month or two, we'll come back and we can talk about the design. But right now, this is all new, and uh, maybe we can get Ken at some point too, at some point, and he can kind of school us on pop sockets.
all right,
Cool,
sounds
man.
good. Good show. I think I'm pumped for them. I want to see what happens. And yeah, just time to get to work. Pop socket shirts, whatever you're into, whatever you want to do. So I think either one, there's just good money to be made, but a lot of the work, a lot of effort, and of course the idea part, I think is just extremely important. So we'll talk more about that too.
All right.
Anything else you want to say?
No, that's it. Where can people find you?
Hustlerhacks1@gmail.com if you want to email me, and hustlerhacks here on YouTube.
And me, Young at geekhustle.com, or just tag me on Facebook. See you guys next week.
See ya.